Work of one local pet adoption organization. Following Hurricane Katrina's impact, the idea of Danny and Ron's rescue was born in hopes of giving dogs in need a better home and a better life. And their efforts have continued ever since.
Co-founders Danny Robert Shaw and Ron Danta say they had no idea what they were getting themselves into by turning their Sumter County home into a doghouse. They've been passionate animal lovers their entire lives, working with horses and show jumping. They were inspired to start rescuing dogs in 2005 after Hurricane Katrina swept through Louisiana.
In 2005, when Hurricane Katrina hit, we were not a nonprofit, so we sent our horse trailer down with supplies to help all of the dogs that were floating in water, and we kept bringing dogs back.
We ended up with 600 dogs helping out from that area.
The two started converting their house after they got back from Katrina when they realized they needed space for all the dogs, but they would eventually realize it would take more than just two of them to ensure their dogs had the right care. The rescue began hiring additional staff after that and officially became a nonprofit in 2008.
We had to figure out ways to keep the dogs separated, and we wanted to get them all neutered and spayed, and so it was a lot of repeat visits to the vet and, keeping them apart and all those details that come in. Plus, they had to be wormed and have their shots and everything done.
Over the years, they've rescued over 14,500 dogs, helping many of them recover from traumatic situations and find their forever homes. They personally care for injured and abused animals until they're ready for adoption.
People, when they're looking for a dog at a shelter, they want the dog that comes up to the kennel. Those shy dogs, they just never get adopted. And so that's what we take a lot of pride in, is taking those dogs, letting them live in our house and get rehabilitated so they can go to a family.
The nonprofit has used the equestrian community on Facebook they've been a part of over the years, continuing to help the rescue raise donations that go towards taking care of all the dogs. This came in handy for one rescue named Taryn, who they received all the way from California.
We had lots of friends that live out in California, and they kept calling about a dog that was on Facebook that was in the back of the kennel in a shelter, head down, wouldn't look at anybody, shivering, shaking, and they kept saying, "Danny and Ron, will you please take this dog?" And we were like, it's all the way in California.
A group of equestrians were so persistent in getting Taryn the help from Danny and Ron, they raised the funds to have her flown from the West Coast all the way to the Midlands. For the first year and a half, they couldn't figure out why she was so afraid of people. But after one phone call, Ron discovered the root to Taryn's anxiety stemmed from watching her previous owner get murdered.
And I called the LA shelter where we got her from, and I still had her card number. And I said, "Can you look up this dog, that we received? How did you all receive her?" And they said, "Oh my God, that was really a tragic thing. The girl was in her 30s, and that was the girl's dog, and she was stabbed to death."
Now Taryn is in a much better place as a sanctuary dog, living out the rest of her life at the rescue.
She's sweet, she's friendly, she's cuddly, loves belly rubs. She's a totally different dog.
Although the two have faced many challenges continuing to keep the dog rescue running, they say their love for the animals is what keeps them going.
We started it for love of the animals and hating to see them neglected or punished or abused in any way. Starving and running on the streets and getting hit by cars and left there, even though they're still alive. That just really stresses our heart.